Hey there everybody, welcome to a brand new video. It is me, Nosy, and as you can see by the title, this is another Transformers Rise of the Beasts film video. Yeah, I decided to talk about some things, recent stuff in regards to the film, upcoming film. There's been some new stuff being released very recently, new renders, CGI renders that I want to talk about, things of that nature. And yeah, so without further ado, let's get to the intro and let's get into this. Okay then, so Transformers Rise of the Beasts. As I just said in that moment ago, there has been some interesting developments and some. Obviously, they've been kind of doing a circuit of some kind, going to events, the cast, the director of the film, and more and more each day is being released on social media and so on. And so I want to kind of go back to the trailer and talk about what the CGI looked like in the trailer. The first image you can see here is obviously of Optimus and Optimus Prime and Primal on screen together. That was a part of the first trailer that we saw. A lot of fans were pretty quick to pick out issues with the CGI in the first trailer. Of course, we have to understand they were obviously working, still heavily working on the CGI at the time. So the CGI, of course, wasn't going to be 100% perfect. But obviously, this was the first time that we saw Optimus actually animated and actually emoting and on screen with this slightly newer design to what we saw in Bumblebee. Obviously, he does look very similar to Bumblebee, to how he looks in Bumblebee, should I say. But a lot of people were like, he has a mouth now. He doesn't have his like mouth guard thing like he did, like he seemed to have in Bumblebee. And also, a lot of people were kind of saying a lot of stuff about his chest area, with like the metal things that go over the screen. A lot of people weren't really. Some people thought he looked great. I mean, I personally think he looks good. I don't mind this design for for Optimus Prime. I can see where people are going with it. Like, for some reason, I don't understand, and a lot of fans don't understand that Travis Knight with Bumblebee, he really nailed the designs for the Autobots in the last film, and on the Cybertron scenes, as you know, on the Cybertron scenes, we have RC, we have Wheeljack, we have Brawn, all sorts of different characters, and they generally really did look like as if they just picked them pretty much straight out of the G1 cartoon or any animated series that they've been a part of. And Travis Knight really did nail those designs. However, the way things have gone with this, some of the designs, some of the designs for Rise of the Beasts, some of the characters look pretty brilliant, look really good, especially RC. Bumblebee is Bumblebee, Bumblebee for me at this point in time, I just think he's quite generic looking. So yeah, basically, Bumblebee looks pretty much very similar to how he did in Bumblebee, the actual film Bumblebee. There's very, very minimal changes. It's still the Camaro as you see at the end of that film. As this is supposedly kind of a sequel to Bumblebee, but at the same time, it is actually combining two scripts. Because originally the Beast Wars was actually the Beast Wars characters were actually going to have their own film. There was actually going to be originally a Beast Wars live action film, and there was going to be the sequel to Bumblebee. But what they decided to do when they had the big writers' room thing, when they were coming up with a whole new universe of Transformers films, they decided to use the sequel to Bumblebee and the Beast Wars script and just combine both scripts together. So that is why we've kind of got essentially kind of like the continuation on from what happens in Bumblebee to, and also kind of bringing in the whole transwarp key kind of thing with the Beast Wars characters and everything. So yeah, so that's how this film has actually come to be. So getting back on track then with my thoughts on the CGI renders, or the rendering that we saw basically in the first trailer. Obviously, I do agree. The CGI obviously wasn't the sharpest. When obviously there was some slight mistakes and everything that people pointed out. Some very eagle-eyed people, really did notice that there was some glaring issues. Of course, obviously, again, I've got to cover the idea of Wheeljack, with the design of Wheeljack, which is something I've forgot to mention. But Wheeljack, how he looks, and what we've seen by the toy images alone, and everything, a lot of people are like, wait a minute, how the hell Travis Knight, Bumblebee, you know, they nailed Wheeljack. He looks just like Wheeljack. However, I've got absolutely no problem with the alt mode choice for Wheeljack in Rise of the Beasts, but yet he just does not look like Wheeljack. And I will get into a little bit more about what's going on with him a little later in the video. So what I want to do first, before I get into that side of it, I want to just kind of go through some images, and talk about the newer renders, brand new renders, posters that have been released over the past month or so, give or take. And so I've been kind of doing, checking out videos on YouTube. A lot of people that are constantly looking for new trailers and looking for any sort of information and putting it out there through YouTube. So thanks to those people, that's how I've come to know a lot of this stuff. So let's do that now. Here we have the first image that's on screen right now. As you can see, it is of some kind of, what how I can just describe it, some kind of pop out kind of pamphlet thing, promotion purposes obviously. But as you can see, you have nice renders of Optimus, Bumblebee, Cheetor, and of course Primal. And yeah, these are obviously much more improved CGI renders. You can definitely see they have really been working quite hard. I mean, Cheetor does look a little bit different in this render compared to what we saw in the first trailer. He does look a little bit better, in my opinion. He does actually look like more of the Cheetor I remember, even though obviously he is obviously, as they're going with the whole aesthetic thing, that they're ancients in a way. They've been on Earth for possibly, I don't know how many years, but they've been on Earth for a long time by the looks of it. To the point where their organic bodies have started to kind of like break down a little bit, so that the organic part has started to kind of decay and come away, kind of revealing obviously their more robotic Cybertronian under it. So it's kind of like, yeah, so it's kind of like an interesting take. When I first kind of saw Primal and Cheeto in the trailer, I wasn't too fond of the idea of um, the designs of them to a certain degree, because obviously I'm a huge Beast Wars fan, as you know, and I was a little bit concerned of how they would, treat these characters, because they are beloved characters of mine. I absolutely love the characters of Beast Wars and the story and everything of that series. But however, the designs are kind of slowly growing on me. I mean, how they are portrayed in the film once we actually do see it in cinemas is again another matter entirely. But for now, as like an early kind of thought process, it is kind of interesting. I do like how Cheetor looks and Primal. I do hope the kind of I don't like the idea on Primal where there doesn't seem to be that much color combination going on with him. Because obviously they've got Cheetor pretty much nailed. You can definitely see he's got a bit of like orangey yellow on him, being a cheetah. And then obviously he's got the darker parts to him as well, which is obviously his Cybertronian parts that are showing through. But on Primal, you just see a little bit of grey areas, and then the black fur, obviously with him being a gorilla. But yeah, I mean, obviously in gorilla mode, I don't have a problem with him. Obviously in gorilla mode or alt mode, obviously he is a gorilla, so obviously the color palette there is kind of perfect. But what I'm talking about when you see him in robot mode, there doesn't seem to be that much combination of color in robot mode, which is the point I'm trying to make there. I just think the colour combination, they could have maybe, I know they're old and rusted or, kind of ancient or looking, kind of beaten up and everything. That's the whole idea of their aesthetic for the film and everything. But it would have been nice if they kind of put a little bit of maybe just a little bit of blue in there, or a little bit of white, or a little bit of red, just so you can kind of tell apart from the darker, blacker parts. That's just my artistic eye in a certain degree looking at it. It's just when you just have a robot mode that is literally just more of a bland, same rustic color, and very little highlights, yeah, perfect, highlighted colors. Even though obviously, again, I understand obviously they're old in this film and all that kind of thing. But yeah, I understand. I mean, obviously, it would be nice that you could just kind of just see a little bit of difference in when he's in robot mode, and you can definitely tell which parts are his legs and robot mode legs, and his chest. He could, on the chest area, robot mode, maybe just a little bit of added color there. But again, they're working on the CGI rendering. Oh, has it stopped? Oh no. Obviously, they are working on the CGI rendering. Obviously, right up until the point of release. So you never know. You never know. Maybe they might have obviously because obviously in the trailer we saw where we see Primal in robot mode, that was still early develop. It's still in pretty early development with the CGI. So obviously by the time the film comes out, hopefully the CGI would have been improved somewhat, and they might have maybe gone over and maybe kind of just altered things just so it does actually look better in IMAX, because obviously this film is going to be an IMAX film when it goes to cinemas. So then this brings me on to the actual standings, the new standings, CGI render standings that have been releasing over the last 24 hours or so, for a couple of days. I've noticed that there's like new, obviously brand new posters, movie posters. Finally, we've kind of been waiting for official proper posters for the film, and with obviously there has been like actual life size statues that have been seen as well and pictured, which I will be showing you. So the first of the images I want to show you is of brand new full cast standing, movie standing, or standee, or whatever you want to call it, for the movie theatres or film cinemas, or whatever you want to call them. So yeah, as you can see with this one, you can see that the CGI renders on this one again just looks. They all look fantastic, actually. Primal in this new one, he does actually. You can definitely see. Obviously, he's still in gorilla mode, so they're deliberately, I think, keeping him in gorilla mode, in alt mode, because I think they kind of maybe they might have a few surprises. They might maybe have been tweaking his robot mode since the first trailer. So I generally think, and it's same with Air as well. Um, there's a couple of characters that we haven't really seen what they're going to look like in the robot modes in new and improved renders. So yeah, so with this new standee, you can definitely see Prime looks absolutely fantastic. There's Bumblebee there, Mirage, RC looks absolutely fantastic. I really love her look. Um, and then obviously, yeah, you got Rhinox there as well and Cheetor. But yet there is one missing, as you can tell from there. Wheeljack is not a part of this standee. Apparently, I found out that Wheeljack has been removed from toy lists. Everything recently in regards to Transformers Rise of the Beasts has not featured Wheeljack in robot mode or definitely not in robot mode. So everything that we've seen previously in regards to Wheeljack, toy-wise, as I've seen like pictures of the toy that they were going to release, that they've all been recalled. Now, I don't know if this is true or whatever, but there's a theory going around that the reason why the toy and everything, and why they're not purposely not showing Wheeljack in robot mode, at least not close up, is because we think, or the story or rumours going around, that is getting a redesign. So I'm very kind of intrigued by that. So I really think that they're obviously listening to the fans. There's been multiple test screenings for Rise of the Beasts as well. So I generally think they've been listening to fans, listening to criticism. And one of the big criticisms was that people are happy with the designs for all the cast, robot cast, to a certain degree, except for Wheeljack. They've Wheeljack, his the head design is just not right for that character. So I'm kind of hoping that it is true, that they are indeed reworking him. To the fact that all the toys have all been recalled. Even the ones that don't transform, everything has been recalled, and Wheeljack's name has been taken off those lists. Whether they've just discontinued the toy, which I can't really see why they would do that. They're releasing all the other figures, all the other characters in toy form. But I generally think it is because they're going to go back to the drawing board and just redesign him a little bit. So I do hope that they give him the Wheeljack head that they did in the Bumblebee film. So that I am very intrigued by. So then, the next couple of images that are going to flash across the screen as I'm talking now, I'm going to start off with new movie posters that have been released. So as you can see here, these are obviously full CGI rendered of what you could, will hopefully see quality-wise when the film comes out, obviously. So you got one with Optimus Prime, one with Primal, and one with Mirage. So as you can see, the CGI rendering, you see these nice and up close. Obviously, oh yes, there's one with Primal as well. I do apologise. But yeah, the CGI renders, you can see there has been a vast improvement. They really have been listening to criticism and listening to the fans, and they really have really been working very hard behind the scenes. The company doing the CGI behind it all, and they've really, you can definitely see maybe there's been a hell of a lot of Transformer fans in a certain degree that have been doing the concept designs and designing the actual characters. To the Also the director himself, he is apparently a big Beast Wars fan and Transformers fan. So you know, so hopefully, yeah, I'm hoping, from seeing how much the improvement with these newly released movie posters, I have got a little bit more hope. I have got a little bit more hope for the film a little bit now. I'm still a little bit skeptical, but I want to try and be still be open minded in regards to this film. Um, yeah, it's just one of those things. It's obviously it's more down to the Beast Wars characters where where I'm a bit skeptical. It's just how they are, how they're acted. How the voice actors, the actors that are voicing the characters, how they're going to sound, how they're actually going to be, how they are going to treat those characters. Um, yeah, it's just I've just got such a fondness for those characters, and I don't want them to be either wasted or not given the respect that I feel they do deserve on screen. I'm hoping, I'm hoping that I'm wrong with that. I would like to be surprised. So yeah, but we will see. But I am liking that they are, as you can see by these close-ups with the new posters, they really have obviously been working very hard to try and make them as close to perfect as humanly possible. And just to finish off the voice part here, let's just talk about these life-size, these life-size statues that have been seen. The cast of Rise of the Beasts, um, and the director of the film were present at some kind of press conference kind of event. And outside there was a life-size statue of Optimus Prime, and obviously Optimus Primal, obviously again still in gorilla mode. They're obviously definitely doing that on purpose, because every piece of media, every poster, there's only the very first trailer where you do see a slight, you do see him transform, but yet obviously that was still very early in early CGI rendering at that point. Obviously, I could keep saying that. So I generally think they've really been working hard on the robot mode side for Primal, and I generally think they're either waiting to possibly release a second trailer. Maybe they're gonna consider maybe release a new trailer, and they might actually unveil the they might maybe kind of give us an actual look of what Primals looks like in robot mode a little bit, or they might just leave that to surprise us when the film releases. Just because, end of the day, I like it when you get a film sometimes and not everything is shown in the trailers, that you just get given so much to go on, give you a little idea of what the story is about and the plot and things of that nature, and yeah, just give you a little bit of what to expect, which I've got no problem with. But it's when they're going to possible end up spoiling the film for themselves, like some films have done that in the past. Um, yeah, I like it when there is a little bit of surprise aspect there. Um, you know, so yeah, I'm very happy with. I think these statues look pretty darn cool. I think you guys will agree. I mean, if I had a big enough house, I would absolutely love the Primal. I think you'd need one hell of a big house or a big room to store that thing in, or either of them for that matter. But yeah, so that's that. So let's continue with the video, and you will see my beautiful face in 1, 2, and 3. Okay, oh yes, my beautiful face is back. My beautiful face is back for you. All of you are all screaming like, oh my god, what the hell's that? But anyway, so yeah. I hope you enjoyed that bit. I apologise if the sound quality wasn't great, if there was a bit of clipping. I was just using the voice recorder on my phone. I know it's a bit crude. I do have a microphone, but I don't have one that is compatible with my phone. It's more compatible for PC use. But yeah, you do what you can with the tools that you're given. I guess that's kind of the way the motto. I believe that's how the motto goes. I think I might have just balls that up, but anyway. But anyway, so yeah, so that was the videos, the things I wanted to talk about, stuff that was released recently. Try and do it in a slightly different format. Not slightly different, I have done that before, doing voiceover with talking about stuff relating to the live action films in the past. But yeah, but I am looking. Like I said in the voiceover part there, segments. I am looking forward to this film. I've got a little bit more hope. There's certainly I've been working very hard in regards to trying to make the characters look as good as possible. Whether the film itself's good, again, we shall have to find out when we see it at the cinema. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I do love how the Terracons look. I think the designs for the Terracons are fantastic. Scourge looks amazing. Battletrap looks fantastic. Nightbird. Those characters look pretty darn cool. I'm very much looking forward to seeing those in action. Them three in action. But the main thing is, as I've already said, it's just, let's see how the Beast Wars characters. I mean, some fans out there that don't like Beast Wars probably won't give two shits how the Beast Wars characters are portrayed, how they are treated, how they come over. Some fans are just really more interested in the G1 aspect with, the other characters like the Autobots. I say G1 aspect. Beast Wars is part of G1 continuity. But anyway, but yeah, but end of the day, I just want this film to be good, and I just want the characters to be be done well. That's all I'm trying to say. But we shall see, won't we? But anyway, so that's the video. Thank you very much for watching, and I will hopefully be back very soon. Thank you for all your support, and I apologise for being gone for a little bit. I've been feeling a bit bent out with everything video-wise recently. So with this release of this video, hopefully I'm going to start coming back to the reviews and everything, and get back to both vlogging and things of that nature. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and see you soon.